And we are recording! Continuing in Just Cause 2. I don't need to say the key was provided because it wasn't. I bought this however many years ago. Actually, it might be measured in decades. And what all... Oh yeah, I've got that. I basically have 4 pieces of news. Well, 3, really. Because one of them is a whole bunch of the same thing. 2 of them are... interesting on their own. The third is, well, yeah, get to that first. So in here, let me just pause this. CD Projekt Red, which owns, GOG, well, the largest CD Projekt Red group, Blooper Team, EA, Intel, AMD, and Samsung, I saw a little bit ago, have all decided to no longer sell their products or supply their products into Russia. And in the case of both EA and GOG, because EA has Origin and GOG is GOG, where am I even gonna go? Actually, I like that idea. I think I will go here, see what I can grab, and then come over to that. But Origin, I think what I saw is that it has shut itself down in Russia, and you can't purchase EA games from other platforms in Russia, and GOG is no longer selling in Russia, or having the games there available. It's yeah. But also, I'd seen a rumor about it after I did the recording last week for Intel and AMD, but today, this is the Friday. What the heck just happened there? Today I saw that it had been confirmed that those 2 companies also were ceasing sales. Well, shouldn't just say sales, but sales and distribution. Flying. I mean, it's yeah. And I don't want to say too much more. Just I let this be a break, you know. Yeah, I mean, let this be a break. Come on, there we go. The other things I got though. Oh, and I can also talk about that. Shadow Warrior 3. I can talk about that review since I went live. But I'll end on that because I know I'll be able to ramble on that. I did see something, I don't remember where. Might have been PC Gamer, might have been somewhere else though. That Intel has stated, so with Alder Lake, they had AVX 512 in there on the P cores, but not on the E cores. And with consumer parts, they basically decided to software disable, firmware disable AVX 512, but some people found ways to turn it back on. But it was still they weren't actually fusing it off, taking a laser and etching away the AVX 512 circuitry. What I saw today, I think it was today, was that Intel has decided that going forward, they are fusing it off. So there will be on Alder Lake no more AVX 512. Now that might only be, I didn't look fully at this news, that might be limited just to the consumer parts. Where, I mean, let's face it, AVX 512 isn't that neat for consumer parts. There are some things that take advantage of it, but mainly that's going to be servers and such. So in Alder Lake Xeon, how did total kills just... Anyway, in Alder Lake Xeon, I could believe would be, would still have it enabled, but it may also have a different design. And I don't remember much about the Alder Lake Xeons anyway. I know there's something coming. But I don't really remember what. But also, and this does quite a bit actually relate to Intel, is the UCI, Nope, I didn't write out what that actually stands for in the notes. Universal Chiplet Interconnect Express, which I will talk about, but get this.
A nice juicy job for you this time. Some Capster witnesses need to be encouraged to keep their mouths shut. I think a bullet in the brain will do this.
That'll come in clean. Sometimes that works.
The witnesses will be heavily guarded. The roof may provide a better vantage point, said Adu. There they are. Kill them for me.
Go right there!
Reporting hostiles in a sector. All units intercept.
Oh well. I'm not sure if that'll actually still... I'm not sure where this will put. Okay, so I am still in the mission, didn't complete it for me. And then I'll get to what UCIE is. It is very interesting. The implications of it, though, are what are most interesting, but we won't really know for years to come.
At
least my guess is it'll be weird.
The roof may provide a better vantage point, said Adu. There they are. Kill them for me.
That definitely.
Cover me, I'm going in!
Excellent. Tongues will not wag now.
There we go. Yeah, let's just try to get out of here. Awesome. That's what I can do next then. So, as the name kind of suggests, with Universal Chiplet Interconnect Express, and this is a consortium that's been formed, so multiple industry players, AMD, Intel, TSMC, I think Samsung on those, Qualcomm, wait. It was Qualcomm or Broadcom, it wasn't both. Not NVIDIA, interesting. Whoop, that's not good. And I don't remember who else, but basically it's, and there is a specific relationship to Intel, by the way. It's a specification set of standards for connecting chiplets. And what is so interesting about this for the whole years to come thing is that technically if Intel and AMD and ARM was also on the list. Intel, AMD, and ARM technically, so if they, actually adhere to the standard, you could take a Intel, AMD, and ARM chiplet and put them all into the same chip.
Contact on my position!
Yeah, I kind of doubt that would happen. Well, actually, no, in some ways it could, because you could see, well, no, Intel wouldn't do that. Intel wouldn't, start using an AMD chiplet for a GPU, but you could see a, ARM definitely being deployed on both, but I could see something like an Intel networking chip being put onto, an Intel networking chiplet put onto an AMD CPU. I could see that, because Intel's been doing the networking stuff for years, and they make good stuff. So, yeah. That's possible. ARM being on whatever, though. I mean, it doesn't seem very likely, I will admit, that you would see that you'd see the two, Intel and AMD, having products that would share parts. But, I mean, weird things have happened. But yeah, it's a set of... The specification is a set of standards that would enable that. Okay. Yeah, Samsung and TSMC are both on it. It is worth noting, though, it is not the bridge technology. And the Anantech article on it was very helpful. So, EMIB, for example, is a bridge technology, as is Foveros. Both of these are Intel technology. Crap, I'm trying to remember exactly how it was referred to. Well, EMIB is like a second chip with logic circuitry that's built into the substrate, and that it physically connects the parts of whatever the chip is. So that is different from, say, Infinity Fabric, which is within a chip typically, and the connections that go between chip, that's just like through the organic substrate. And the organic substrate is, you know, like just the piece of green plastic. Well, it looks like plastic. Well, I don't actually remember what FR4 is. But anyway, it's like you just basic wires in there, no logic. EMIB, if I remember correctly, does have logic in there. It does have some compute capability. And Foveros, that I think that's more akin to what TSMC is doing for AMD with the die-on-die stacking, where it's like, you know, getting the connections, well, designing the chips so that you can connect them like that. Those are not included. It's the spec is purely it is bridge agnostic, so it would just work if, you know, you could use EMIB, Foveros, the TSMC stuff, or just, you know, simple wires in an organic substrate. And even with repeaters, you could have it go between chips, between devices. So like an entire server rack connected this way, it would work. Now, how this relates to Intel specifically is it's actually Intel that donated this. That donated the bulk of this 1.0 specification. And the Anantech thing did point out, yeah, Intel actually has done this multiple times before. USB, which, yes, I did remember that was an Intel Intel technology. Thunderbolt, we all know, is Intel. They specifically said Thunderbolt 3 because that's what's been like made open and donated of sorts. There's still some weird stuff going on, but yeah. And PCIe, that I did not realize was Intel original. It doesn't surprise me, but I just did not remember that about PCIe's history. I probably try to find a better way to cross. Yes, actually, that is an airport. There we go. But, yeah, and just Intel and AMD both, and NVIDIA too, though it seems less often, they, you know, work on technologies that are basically ones that will benefit the whole industry. Like, AMD and Intel, well, AMD and Intel have worked on DDR standards, the JEDEC stuff, for years. But AMD has had a hand in, I don't remember how many, but a lot of the GDDR specifications as well, and also HBM. It's actually, I think at one point I saw something that, this was years ago though, so I could very easily be misremembering, that NVIDIA actually is not as heavily involved in that work than, at least not compared to AMD. And I don't remember which technology it was. But there was also something where it's like one of the versions of GDDR. It's like even though it was AMD that developed it, it was actually NVIDIA that used it first. Well, AMD that was directly involved in developing it. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and it, as I said, I can't think of them, but NVIDIA does also, for those kinds of open standards, does also work on them. You know, because it is the whole, you know, there are some technologies that, no, it doesn't actually give you that much an advantage if you keep it exclusive to yourself. If you open it up, that means that everyone is able to use it, but also everyone is able to develop on it and help out with the next generation. And that is part of what this is about. I'm gonna take this, although I want to grab that. Having this consortium, because now all these companies are able to work together and share their resources and talents for making this technology better. And that also means that their individual costs will be less as well. And that is important too. Like that is also a significant achievement for them, to reduce the cost. I mean, it's not everything. Like I said, it's not covering the bridge technology, but it is still, you know, going to be helpful for all of them. I can't really think of anything more to that. The Anandtech piece did stress one point, and that is that it seems like there was a very conscious and deliberate effort to make this similar to PCIe, with their point being that PCIe has developed into, and this is, you know, the benefit of having it be open. Well, having it not be restricted to just, like, you know, Intel invented it, so only Intel uses it, is the broad amount of, you know, the broad ecosystem that now exists with it. Well, if we're doing that, I'm thinking about it, you've got way more than just GPUs that use PCIe. And you also, you know, have NVMe, which is, how are they on top of each other? Which is derived from PCIe. So, you know, that expansion to, well, that opening up of it really did a lot. So it will be interesting to see what is achieved with this. But it is, you know, it's not everything, but it's still significant. That was all that I had noted, so that means I can start rambling about Shadow Warrior 3, which, that, I almost wrote it, and then I decided not to, in the review, in the conclusion. It's like, no, because that's not a point to write in the review. Just that I'm kind of glad it worked out how it did, because it's like, yes, this is a 2. So, I know I've talked about it before, and I've rambled on it before. I know I ramble. Don't think I don't. I didn't mean to start production. About this recommendation categorization system that I thought of, that goes from, yeah, -4 to +4, so it's centered on 0, where 0 is, ooh, I could use that, but this is, it's nice. The helicopter's nicer than the minigun there. So it's -4 to -2 is recommend against. -1 to 1, and this is a range. -1 to 1 covers the failing to recommend, and then 2 to 4 is recommend, and it's just a 3 is like this is a solid recommend, which Dying Light 2 was an example. 4 would, and it's hard to really imagine what a 4 would take, what it would take to get a 4. But, you know, that would be like, no, this is a game you have to play. This is my strongest recommendation. It truly impressed me. Dying Light 2 didn't quite do that, but it was still that is still a very, very good game. That very easy recommendation. But it was only a 3. And I know I've said this other times since I want to keep saying it. It's a categorization, not a scoring system. So you could have multiple games that are a 3, for example, just using that as an example. But one could clearly be a higher quality game than another. And that's fine. It's not about the quality, it's about am I recommending. Anyway, Shadow Warrior 3 is a 2. So it's recommended, and the reason why, and I try to stress in there, is I did have fun. I really did. But it also is kind of a weak game. It's short. Too short. The story is quite lacking. And now, the too short requires a little bit of explanation there. Yeah, it just... It was weak. Weak is the correct term, I think, to describe my impression of it. I see it there. But importantly, it was fun. That's when a game ceases, it is not fun. That's when it's this is, gonna be in the failed recommend kind of area. And this, by the way, is also part of the reason that I developed this categorization system. And I'm trying to use it because I want to use it to help myself decide what does and does not count for the different recommendation. And it's a weak recommendation because while I had fun, it got dull because it was basic. And there are a number of games that are like this, and some do it well. I would not say this is one of them. Where it's basically you're just walking between arenas, where you then fight. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of dull. Because it's like the only variety it really felt like was more along the lines of the design of the arena. Because the enemies, you kind of figure all those out. And the pacing for the introductions isn't bad, but it's like, once you meet them all and you figure out how to effectively use your weapons against them, what the strategies are, what's the point? I mean, doesn't mean it's easy. No. It was... I'm not saying it was easy, but it's like you could handle it. Although I know that there were times that that at least was very hard. Where it's like, yeah, it's challenging, which that's good. That it would be challenging, not just difficult, but it was still getting dull, which, and I think I did say this in the review, that is better than boring, or at least I tried to. Boring is straight up negative to me, where if it is boring, that's if it were boring, that's a failure to recommend, because no, this boring is not fun. Dull can still be fun, it's just monotonous, which isn't necessarily bad. It's certainly not good, but it's but boring, that's the bad. Okay. I know some people might be like, these are distinctions without differences. It's like, well, I'm probably just not explaining myself well enough if that's how you feel. And I'm not saying you're wrong, not by any stretch. I'm probably not explaining it that well. But yeah, I was expecting it to be 8 to 10 hours. Coming back down to the whole, I said it was too short. And I finished it in 5.5. Well, that's a problem. Where is it? There it is. Oh, this is an interesting problem. the hell? Why does it sound like they're rockets? And the 5.5 is, it's not just too short because, it's like, oh, I was expecting it to be longer and it wasn't. No, it's also just, it didn't feel like there was much going on. It was very linear, very... It may sound good to say it was very focused, but I don't mean that as a positive. Because it was like, I did not fully understand what was going on, what happened in this world since the last game. Not that I really understood the ending of the last game, which is something I also talked about during the commentary. I mean, I guess one way to put it would be this. If it were a standalone expansion, it would make more sense. But that's not what it is. But yeah, the story, oh man. The story was definitely quite weak. Because it's like, there are a whole 4 speaking roles in it. Yeah, that's not really enough to have a sense of the world. I need to go at that differently. But I do need to head back to get it somehow. Oop, man, I know what that sound is. There we go.
And now Air Force chopper arriving shortly.
Damn it. I don't want to leave and come back, but I might need to. Actually, no. Okay, I thought I saw, that there might be a power station over there. Yep, didn't really do that. There we go.
Let's finish this.
But yeah, I mean, just the whole not really having a sense of what's going on in the world, why what I'm doing matters. I mean, sure, we're saving the world. Okay. We've done that before. What makes this special? What are the players involved here? And also part of the story is that the dragon that you released at the end of the previous game is, has devoured what gods were alive at the time. And it's like, okay, how did it devour gods? How did they not, do something? I mean, it's like, we're not even going to talk about how apparently it's just this happened. Or any of the whole... Oh, that's a... If the literal gods couldn't deal with this dragon, how can we? Kind of stuff. I mean, it just... It's a very linear game, which I also didn't much care for. I like being able to explore, and it really felt like there wasn't opportunity or reason to... That's what I was... Okay. And it felt like but very, very linear. How some games are, where it's like, this is what you do not do anything else. It kind of felt like the story was that way too. It was like, no, it's only this. And it's like, none of the foundational stuff, nothing to actually, like, support the story was present. And that hurts it, in my opinion. That's like, I don't really understand what's going on. It was funny, where was it I saw? Somebody was talking about that, you know, they loved how stupid it was. And in like all the dumb jokes and how they laugh at them. It's like, yeah, that's fine. If you look at my review, I never even really comment on, well, no, I do kind of, about the whole just low-weighing sense of humor is that of a middle schooler. But it's like, I mean, that's fine. I don't have any issue with that. That is Lo-Wang's character. Although I do feel Hoji, that his character didn't feel right. I'd need to replay the first game. But it just, that one he seemed mean. And I don't feel that I'd have to replay it, but I don't feel like that's right for Hoji. That's not how he was. What am I missing? But no, my criticism is more so like the actual story itself, not just the characters in it or aspects of the characters. You know, that was, you know, just how it was. But the story is like, what's going on here? Could we get some explanation? No? Okay. I guess nothing's gonna be explained.
Stand back up!
The gameplay was okay. It was awkward. So, like, right mouse button was, okay, there's a fresh one in. Was, to use the sword. It was basically the melee. And left mouse button was, therefore, to use the ranged weapons. And it's like, that's just kind of awkward. Because you're swapping between these weapons, and in basically every other game, that's handled very differently. It's like, they are, like the melee weapon is either on, like, its own button. That? Okay. So you swap to it, and it's just, you know, treated like all the others. Not the case here. So, not the case in Shadow Warrior 3. I mean, in here, it's on Q. His melee attack is on Q. Right, mouse button would be, you know, especially with ranged weapons, something like an alternate fire or a zoom. No, it's you pull out the sword. Okay. It's like, that's not at all what I would expect. Yeah, so I'm guessing, coming back to this game, I think it is, I just need to find something to blow up. It's also getting dark, so it's kind of hard to see. Just trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, yeah, but so coming back to the point I know I at one point was starting, is that, yeah, Shadow Warrior 3, it's a 2. It's a weak recommendation, because it's like, I had fun playing. Yeah, it was dull times, but, you know, I had fun. There's nothing wrong to the gameplay, nothing bad to the gameplay. But it was weak. You know, the story was weak, the gameplay was dull. The final boss fight, though, and I think I did, I know I wanted to state it in the review, the final boss fight was actually pretty fun. I liked that. That was interesting. But so many of the other fights weren't. I mean, it's like, there's not much I can do with that. But it's a 2. So, like, going forward, if somebody ever needs me to explain, well, what's a 2? What does that mean, this range? It's like Shadow Warrior 3. That's what it is. Where it's just... It's weak. It's fun. I had fun. I enjoyed it. But it's a weak game. So the recommendation that I have to give it is a weak recommendation. Okay, so yeah, this is too far away. Where? Man, there's more than one coming in. So I'm pretty sure it's something I have to destroy. Because I've been over this enough, I would have seen the radar go off if it was a pickup.
Backup team on their way!
Come on. I do think I kind of remember this for the game that is annoying. For this game, I mean, it just, basically, it decides, oh yeah, we're just gonna keep sending enemies at you. Which makes the clearing of areas like this so tedious. See, this is, kind of dull, right? Oh no, there is a thing here, so maybe this is... That's it, okay. Where it's just this kind of tedium. Where it's like, I just need to find this one small thing and it keeps sending annoying stuff at me. It's like, that's annoying. It's not much fun. But it doesn't really hurt the fun. It's not like it's bad. Nope, that's like a personal chopper. Always take the one with the gun. If it's there, take it. Oh, damn it. And that killed me. All because I was looking away and tried to clear the notes on my phone. Yeah, killing your pursuers really doesn't work. Because they just keep coming. I'm actually nearer to it now. No, I'm not. Quite a bit further away from it. Alright. But I can get another airplane. Which I think the Eclipse is faster than the one I'll be able to grab here. But, it's still gonna be faster. At least there is, something else about, Shadow Warrior 3 that I want to mention, just as a kind of a note for people to know, is that it does have a New Game Plus mode. It doesn't tell you this, but it does have one. What you do is, just on the save slot, if you hit to start a new game, it does carry over your upgrades, although you need to get the weapons again. And your challenges. Your challenge progress. But it starts you back at the beginning. It's like, it would be nice if it actually identified as a New Game Plus. What I really would have liked, though, would have been Chapter Select. If they were Chapter Select, then I would have taken the time to collect performance data. But because there wasn't, there's no value to it, because like I can't get to places, or a manual save system. I can't get to places to reliably collect data. Oh no, that is... I think it was spawning in, and that's why it confused me. But yeah, the fact that I can't go back to specific places to get data, and also, especially at the beginning of the game, there's so many cutscenes. It's like, yeah, you can skip them, but you can't prevent them from coming up. That, I hate collecting data during cutscenes. It destroys the data. So, it's... What am I supposed to do? My decision? I just didn't bother collecting data. Go with what I had when playing, with what I experienced while playing it. Which is also while the same system was recording the game. And yeah, it did look like when I played it, when I started playing a little bit, that the recording did have something of a negative impact, but not too bad. It's like the performance was still good, and I was running it at its highest configuration on 1920 by 1080 class monitor, but with an RX 580. I'm certain I could have turned stuff down and improved performance, not really knows. But it's like, yeah, the performance is good. Great. It's also kind of a shame I couldn't collect performance data, because I was really hoping to add that into the applet that I've been working on, and I'm still. It's like fully functional. This applet that I've made for being able to better allow people to control the data processing. It's in a good place now. It's been in a good place actually for a little bit, but I'm adding some stuff to it, and I do hope to deploy it. It's just I need to get some feedback, and I need to figure out how to actually make it public. But we'll see. It's also, I'm busy with work, with day job work, so that throws it off a little bit too.
You, man up gun!
Okay, you know what? Hey, could do that. I don't really want, but I want to. No, maybe I'll get it from the mission. I need ammo, is the thing. So. Yeah, I was hoping to, maybe with Shadow Warrior 3 data, make it public, but
Perhaps
gonna wait.
You really are what you seem to be, a friend to the Ulars.
So, barring another review coming up, at some point I will try to... I want to do.
Are simple people.
Don't know when.
We live by the land
This.
and for the land, as we have done since the times of the ancients. But modern enemies require modern weapons, and so the time has come to overrun a military supply depot hidden in the jungles of Pula Kajetana. It will surely provide us with the armaments required to continue our noble struggle. The depot is heavily guarded, but it will be no match for you and my men.
We'll see. I don't have ammo. I do want to do a performance analysis for Dying Light 2. I just don't know when I'll have the time. I have the desire. And maybe that'll be a good time to try deploying the app.
Enemy sighted!
You get me safely to the command entrance on the upper level. From there, I can hack into their computer system and change the control codes. Come, brave brothers! And you, Scorpio, better keep me alive. Rally on me, Ulars!
What even hit? Would you mind getting up? This is not going to go well. Where are these missiles coming from? And they're homing whatever they are, because otherwise they had to have gone through the ground. And I'm not even gonna have ammo. I'm still screwed on that.
You get me safely to the command entrance on the upper level. From there, I can hack into their computer system and change the control codes. Come, brave brothers! And you, Scorpio, better keep me alive. Rally on me, Eulas! The guys in the towers!
Yeah, I really need to figure out weapons first. And that just killed me instantly. What the hell is this? Like, I don't know where any of these shots are coming from. No, fuck it. You guys are on your own for a bit, okay? You're not completely useless, so this might not be terrible. But I really need to figure out ammo. Oh, screw you! I am not leaving the area.
Rally on me, Eulas!
Guys, don't walk in front of me. Yeah, and they are homing. What the hell? Oh, that they use.
Keep moving, Eulas! We need to take this supply depot! The entrance is open! Forward into hell, my brothers! Damn those maggots! We can't get through! Scorpio, find a way inside and open the entrance for us.
Ah, there you are.
Security has been breached. Students will be shot on sight.
Alright.
Move out to the next blockade! Brave brothers! You got them! You lads, move out! Scorpio, take care of that mounted gun!
Mounted gun? You said magic words.
I got him!
Good! Move on, brave you lads! Okay, we made it! Now I just need to activate the system. Scorpio, you got my back? Okay, ready. Now, damn it! Maybe if I do like this. Yes! I have
This is
almost
so
got
much
it!
fun.
Scorpio, you better take care of that helicopter!
Come on, come on. Here we go.
That's it! This place is Yula property now!
Excellent.
By the blood of the
We got a positive. Send backup.
Alert! Alert! Area has been breached. Shoot any intruders on sight.
Alright. I'm gonna clear out this area and then I'm gonna stop. I don't know how long I've been going, by the way. And that's actually really good.
I thank you dearly. Feel free to replenish your ammo supplies before you leave, Serdadu.
By now having that in the black market, that means I can also upgrade. Oh, there it is. Too bad I don't quite remember how to open the black market. Is it F2? Oh, maybe I can't do it. Well, not from here, but... Yeah. Oh. Equipment? Come on. There we go. Since what I like going around with, it makes sense to upgrade. There.
Once the Yulas hold power in this great country, I shall retire and venture into the sushi business, Scorpio. My dream is a sushi bar in every village. I shall be very prosperous. I mean, the Yulas shall be prosperous and have the respect they deserve. Enemy located! All units attack on sight!
I'm just thinking, where would I put this game? As I've been spending more time in it. It would probably be a 3, but I will grant that this is definitely showing its age. Just Cause 2 is showing its age. Probably when I... Did I play it before Just Cause 3? Well, did I review it before that? Just Cause 3, from my memory, which... I mean, I plan on playing that after I finish with this. That is definitely a 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this would also be a 3. It's not a weak recommendation. Might not be the strongest of a 3. The strongest of a, yes, I'm recommending the game. But partly, you know, it's just... It's aged, and not necessarily perfectly. You know, not many games do. Mainly it's just the awkward controls. Because some people say, oh yeah, the graphics are so dated. It's like, I don't even see that, really. I mean, yeah, I see it, but it seems like, whatever. I mean, there are games that are made today that, you know, intentionally look worse. Look like they're dated. Whatever. And I just remembered there's the new, well, yeah, they're changing how Humble Monthly, Humble Choice now. They're changing how it's working, but this first offering, I think their first one with their changes to it, it's like, okay, there's a game there where it's actually there's more than one game where it's like, okay, I'm gonna not pause this month. Look like it's the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is the 3 games. Because I definitely enjoyed 1 and 2. And I actually liked the ammo system in 1, and I know some people don't. Because they changed it for the sequel. But I like it, and I'll explain why. I've not played Mass Effect 3 yet. So I'm kind of comfortable with the idea of I will pick that up, and at some point, don't ask me when, at some point, that'll probably be how I play Mass Effect 3. Yeah, so Mass Effect 1, the ammo, and no, I have not played it for years, but I remember. The premise to it, for how the ammo would work, is that basically it's all weapons use the same kind of ammo. It's, you know, how much of it do they use, but it's also heat-based. So, you could apply mods that would change, like, how much ammo, but also how much a weapon would heat up, how much ammo it would use, and how much the weapon would heat up. And one of the things I like doing, is I realized that you could do this with a sniper rifle. You could, and I don't remember, ammo might have actually been, but anyway, with a sniper rifle, you could upgrade it such that basically you would get one shot because it would then overheat from that one shot, or like have you just next to it, so if you do another shot, it overheats, and that's worse than letting it cool down after one shot. But you do that, and it's like, if you can land that shot though, you've killed your target. And I like that. And then Mass Effect 2 went back to the traditional, like, you know, everything uses different ammo, so you need to make sure that you have the right ammo. Or that, you know, it's all, you know, these different ammo classes. Well, weapon classes, and therefore ammo class. Which it's, you know, that's the traditional, but, you know, I kind of like attempts, especially if they are sensible. Not necessarily good. There's a reason I'm not saying good. But sensible attempts to use something novel. And the reason I'm being intentional in saying it, putting it that way, is I'll grant that, you know, maybe the Mass Effect 1 approach is not that good, but it makes sense. And it's been years, so I don't remember exactly what was said with what the internal explanation is for that ammo. But it still was an attempt to remove the whole, oh yeah, you need to make sure you've got SMG bullets, you need to make sure you've got pistol bullets, and so on. It's like, no, you just need to have bullets. And I like that, because that is something that does get kind of annoying, kind of boring. Yeah. Remember, you don't destroy those unless you can take out the generator, because they mark the generators. That's something you want to take advantage
We got him.
Oh. Well, I can drop that.
Enemy presence within the area. Shoot intruders on sight.
Well, that's true. I don't need to go here specifically to refill them. Oh yeah, that's right. I now also, because of those upgrades, have more ammo capacity for them. This might be the last. Awesome. Now I'm just gonna see what I can do about changing out the rocket launcher.
It was worth every minute.
It might be something around. Nope. These are both small. That's the minigun. I could just order something from the black market, but I'd rather not. But it is also, now that I have ammo, I'm good. I can actually just. How long did I go? A little bit over an hour, not bad. I thought I would have been already past an hour, actually. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I mean, it's just, I don't think I have a game review coming up. There might be a game coming. There might be a new game coming up. I know a lot came out this past week, though. Shadow Warrior 3 was not alone. Well, Elix 2. Here, let me check on. Yeah, that'll be easy. Let's just go straight to THQ Nordic. Yeah, it released March 1st, which is also when Shadow Warrior 3... Yeah, which funny thing there. So, there were 2 embargoes for Shadow Warrior 3. I don't mind talking about this since it's already out. The first one was actually on February 28th, the day before, but had a limit for, like, you know, you can't have videos and you shouldn't give impressions past this, it's the mission at the dam. Whereas the, like, everything is okay. That was March 1st. And it's like, yeah, I don't differentiate where I do that in my recordings or any of that. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna hit the second one. We're gonna aim for that one. Yeah, it's just, that was a busy day. But I do find it weird. I don't think I've seen much about Elix 2, but it's also, I've not been looking. And I don't even think that was the only one. I think there was another game also this week. Yeah, I think I have Elix 1. Let me look. Yes, I do. I'm also gotten it through Humble Bundle because I've got it on Humble and on Steam. There. I can't think of anything else. Except maybe to brag about something I managed to do. In Splitgate, I do try to, because there's, you know, a 25% XP bonus that you can build up to if you play a game every day. So I try to do 1 match a day. And I actually had one today where zombie VIP, so you run around, zombies are lower health, run around with the bat, unlimited swings on that. And he had portals, but the VIP has a shotgun with unlimited ammo, but 3 in the clip. No portals, you have full health, and you don't run so fast. I somehow managed to... Like, I wasn't the VIP at the start. I was the second VIP, so the first guy died. So the other team had 1 point, and then I got it. I actually managed to hang on to it until we won. So it was 1 to 15, because 15 is the score limit. I was shocked by that. I'm glad that you're able to save those replays. I'm sorry. I know it's pointless. I know it's unimportant to anyone. But it's like, I'm kind of happy I managed to do that, because I'm sure I will never come close to doing something like that again. Alright, I'm legitimately going to stop now. See you next week.